Live streaming is on.
Hi, good morning. How's everybody today on this Wednesday, September 28th? It's 58 degrees. It feels like fall. I think it really is fall out there. Um, it's beautiful. It's good sleeping weather. Enjoy this season. That's all I can say is enjoy this season. I'm not crazy about what comes after. So today in writing, we're going to talk about phrases, which are words put together they have meaning, but they can't stand alone. They have to have the rest of the sentence joining them to make sense. But we use different types of phrasing to add variety and interest to our writing. In writing part two, I hope you'll stick around. We're going to talk about argumentative essays and tasks. There are only two types. We are going to actually go through a sample essay and then evaluate it, and then I'm going to give you the writing prompt. Then we're going to talk about the informational essay. But let's go on to our talking about phrases. And we're going to look at four types of phrases. Let me share my screen with you. Okay, make sure we're here and we're sharing. Alrighty. So a phrase is a group of words that do not include a subject and a verb. Okay. First one, and I'm not going to go through all of them because some of them you already know. So a noun phrase is a group of words that consist of a noun and its modifiers or what acts on the noun and then together acts like a noun. For example, I had a delicious meal. So my noun phrase is I had, what did you have? It was a thing, a delicious meal. That's a noun phrase. And what modified the word delicious. It told me the type of meal you had. Could have been a horrible meal, delicious meal, a different kind of meal, right? So now let's look at the preposition. And those are words that indicate um, direction, up, down, beside, beneath, below. Those are all prepositions. So it's a group of words consisting of a preposition, its object, and any modifiers. So we climbed. Where did you climb? Or how did you climb? We climbed up the hill, right? So up, preposition, the object was we. What do we do? We climbed up the hill. Then we have a verb phrase. It's a verb and any of the auxiliary words. So we, what are we doing? Are working hard and how? As ever. Okay, we are working hard as ever. So those phrases act on your noun, your verb, your preposition, right? And an infinitive is a word that consists of the word to plus a verb. Let's take a look. John wants to travel. And how does he want to travel? Abroad. So that modified the word travel, meaning he wants to travel to other countries. Then we also have an adjective phrase, all right? Um, it group of words that act like an adjective. So the girl dress, in white dress, modifies the noun the girl. What is the girl in white dress? In a white dress is Ruby. That's Ruby. An absolute phrase, we're going to talk more about that today. It's a group of words that modifies an independent clause. An independent clause can what? Stand on its own. So the absolute phrase is here. Today being Sunday, we are eating outside. So if we look at the independent clause, we are eating outside. It can stand on its own, but the absolute phrase today being Sunday gives us more information about why we're outside, right? And I have to shrink it so I can show you the bottom. So then we have an adverbial phrase, acts like an adverb in a sentence. To excel in studies, what do we have to do? We go above and beyond. All right. So an adverb acts on our verb um, to excel, to go higher. And then we have a participle phrase, which is a word formed from a verb and acts like an adjective. So the newly constructed is a verb, but newly constructed, it describes what? Our building. It acts like an adjective. Okay, so the newly constructed building, what about it? Is large and spacious. So those are phrases, is large and spacious, right? So, or rather, newly constructed was the phrase. Newly constructed. What about the building? It's newly constructed. So now let's take a look at some of phrases, give a closer look. We're not going to do them all, but we'll start some and we'll have to finish, I'm quite sure. Um, we'll have to finish later because you have assignments in each one. So let's look at the adverbial phrases. Let's make this a little bit bigger. An adverbial phrase is a group of words that act together as an adverb. Okay, telling us more information about a verb, giving and a verb or adjective or other adverb in this sentence. So the adverbial phrase, this is an important part, answers the same questions as a regular adverb. How much, when, where. Let's take a look. Underline the adverbial phrase and then on the line, write the question and answers. We expect our grandparents to arrive. Their verb, to arrive. When? In about an hour. Oops, I think I gave it away. So what we would write here is when, because it's telling us when. We expect them to arrive in about an hour. So that's what we're going to underline. Let me see if I can go to Google Docs so I can show you exactly what this is going to look like. It's probably going to mess up the whole format. Don't get nervous. I'm quite sure it's going to. But let's see what we end up with here. Yeah, see, a mess. But so this was telling us, can I write on it? Can I write on it? Okay. This was telling us when. All right. And we expect them to arrive when? In about an hour. That's our phrase. And so I'm going to want to underline it. Okay. My cousin watches television almost as much as you do. He watches television. What? How? Almost as much as you do, right? So that's telling us what? Oops, that's not what I'm trying to do. Almost as much. And we just want to simply underline it. That's telling us what? How much, right? Let me highlight these words so we can just keep up with them. I'm going to do a couple more and then I'm going to want you to try. That's not what we were trying to do. Okay. The weatherman says it will rain. The weatherman says it will rain all day. How's it going to rain? It's going to rain what? All day. Oop. So I was actually supposed to do what with that? Underline. Keep yourself straight here, sis. All right. Your brother plays soccer. How does he play it? Better than my brother does. Your brother plays soccer. Oh, and this was what we were saying? It will rain when all day, right? time all day long. And your brothers play soccer better than my brother does. And let's underline here. And that's telling us um, how how he plays. He plays better than my brother, right? So this, remember, is giving us these to the degree: how much, when, or where, and also direction. Okay, time and quantity. Let's look at another one, and I'm going to because how many questions do we have? 15. How many do we have? 16 questions. So I'm going to do another one. Our friend drives on Mondays. What does our friend do? He drives when? He drives when, right? That's the question in your mind. So we're saying, when does he drive? So basically, what is the point? The point of this is to know how to use these phrases to make your writing more interesting, to vary your sentences. And when you write essays, you want the reader to be engaged, not to get bored with what you're writing. I'm just going to reformat this. But actually, I don't need to. I'm not doing the whole thing. So this is where I'm going to stop for you. I want you to try this. Remember that the words we're looking to fill in are how much, when, or where. And then when we get our verb sentence, right, our adverb, we expect them to arrive when, right? We expect them to arrive. So our verb is to arrive, okay? My cousin, what does your cousin do? Watches television. There's our verb there. And then how? Almost as much as you. So let's call it, that's it for that lesson. I want you to give it a try. If it's right or wrong, it doesn't matter. We're in the process of learning where mistakes are useful. So I don't want you to be afraid ever of making mistakes, even in life, because we use them for learning. A person who doesn't use mistakes for information and for learning, that's what you call a fool, because you're going to do the same thing over and over again. And that's also the definition of insanity, right? But here, mistakes are useful. So let's not have shame. Let's not be afraid to just go out and jump in, jump in here and in every lesson. So that's all for now. I will see you for writing part 2. This is important work here. We're analyzing our task essays. This is the informational essay. Hope to see you in a few minutes. Take care.